I mean, I assume you didn't start out on, doing these kind of things most people criticize you for. I would assume at the beginning you were eating a relatively whole food, plant-based diet. Correct me if I'm wrong,
No,
but
you're
where
right.
did you start? And then you ended up trying like everything possible, and then you were heavily criticized for trying other things outside the box.
Yeah.
Tell me about like what your diet was like prior to you noticing, and at what point you started to notice health deterioration. How did that appear?
Yeah. So when I was at my best, I was eating whole food, plant-based vegan, but I still sensed something wasn't quite right, and I don't know if it's in the weightiness of the carbs I was eating or something, and I went to raw food and I felt lighter and clearer and many things, but there was just something in my body that just was like not happy, and it's so hard to put a finger on until the voices really started to get louder. And really towards the later end, I realized I was never satiated, and so I was overeating. And whether that was whole food plant, I tried whole food plant-based, I tried like high carb diet, which was the main one for athletes going vegan over the YouTube time that it was. I tried high fat vegan, I tried junk food vegan, and try eating with no guilt. I was like, how about I just try for a month and have no guilt on what I'm eating and see if there's the guilt as an effect. And that was an interesting experiment. I played with supplements. I didn't go do as many supplements as other vegans would have liked me to have done, but that I did enough for me to understand that game. And I spoke to enough other vegans that were supplementing, and I had a B12 injection before. That never felt natural to me. And then I got into other things like urine therapy, which for me, as the human who living that experience, I felt benefits from it for years. It lasted for years. I felt benefits. And so somewhat now I'm eating ribeyes with eggs, and then in the evening maybe I'll have some salmon, or a little bit like one slice of salmon and eggs, and I'll have one main big meal and one smaller meal. And then I will occasionally, I still buy like a vegan ice cream, because I do feel better without the dairy. I won't eat gluten, and I'll drink water. I'll eat 2 main meals a day. I'll have like carrot and peanut butter, or apple and peanut butter, but I'm eating so much less fruit than I was eating before. I started doing longevity supplements. I don't know if you've heard of longevity and Dr. Joel Wallach. And they've really helped, because they've helped me somehow to be able to eat anything other than animal products and be fine. It seems like in my experience of it that's helped. So I am supplementing now. I'm not in complete denial of that, and I feel like that's been helping me for now. I've said many times before, you can go to the supermarket and you can buy a vegan Ben & Jerry's ice cream now. And to think that that's helping the planet compared to me buying local eggs or something is absurd, or even local dairy, like buying some cream from the local farm. The amount of production that goes into that, into making that product, and the amount of pesticides and deforestation, and then crop grows, and then harvesting the crops, and the crop deaths, and then the production line, and then the shipping across the oceans, and even the cardboard packaging, and then the plastic to seal that in. It's insane. And then I will occasionally, I still buy like a vegan ice cream, because I do feel better without the dairy. And a new understanding, veganism is not the way for me to cause the least harm to animals, to the planet, and to my health. So I have a local farm shop. We're very lucky in England, I think, because you drive around and anytime you're in the countryside, all you see is fields filled with cows. Like they're happy, they're roaming free. We don't have the same like scale of factory farms that you do there. So of course the supermarket's selling cheap meat, but I've got the closest shop to me is a farm shop, less than a mile down the road. I see all the chickens running around where I get the eggs from. The cows are from another local farm that they source in. And I used to walk in there as a vegan and screw those butchers. It's my job to sort of, in the ego way, like, I'm going to take you guys out. You won't exist one day. And now they're my best friends. It's like, that's all local stuff. And I see that. And I said this in an interview that, a slab of organic beef might be the most vegan product in the supermarket, because it's got the least amount of suffering. One cow, as we've probably been said a million times in the show, and you've said it many times, one cow could last you 3 months, 6 months, whereas you buy some lettuce and that might kill 5 flies and a slug or something.
Bobby Risto mentioned, he said that there was a lot of sort of artificial support for the vegan movement. That is to say, there's a lot of companies that are sort of almost sponsoring people to kind of get that vegan product out there, and that there's a financial, it's not an organic movement, or it's growing in a way that is more aligned with corporate financial interest rather than the true sort of call to minimize animal suffering. Do you see that there's some conflict of interest going on with that right now, or were you did you notice that was something that people had approached you about?
Now for a word from our sponsors. All right, folks, this episode of the Human Performance Outliers podcast is brought to you by ButcherBox. ButcherBox offers you convenience by delivering your meat right to your door with free shipping. They also offer quality by having options such as 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef, heritage breed pork, and free-range chicken. They also offer value with their goal to make clean meat accessible to as many people as possible by partnering with a collective of small farms. They are able to deliver you the best products for less than $6 per meal. They often run promos on their website for subscribers to get things like free pork or free bacon. If you enter promo code HPO at checkout, you can also knock an additional $20 off your first subscription. So head over to butcherbox.com and place your first order. Now, back to the show.
The carnivore diet I find fascinating to me because it's like back in the day, to eat that much animal flesh, you'd have to be the best hunter. And to get the best quality meats, you'd have to be even better to catch that animal. And so we can sort of skip that. And it's like a glitch or a cheat code, is that you can just consume and buy this animal product and just have that boost of energy, which then reiterates you to be an even better hunter over and over. I played with supplements. I didn't go do as many supplements as other vegans would have liked me to have done, but that I did enough for me to understand that game. And I spoke to enough other vegans that were supplementing, and I had a B12 injection before. That never felt natural to me. I am supplementing now. I'm not in complete denial of that, and I feel like that's been helping me for now. But when I was at my best, I was eating whole food, plant-based vegan, but I still sensed something wasn't quite right. And I don't mean to be so cruel, but it feels like the devil's got veganism now. Like, it used to be a pure movement with the best intentions, and it turned a corner in the last 12 months, I think.
Y'all know the deal. Not everybody's got an hour and a half to watch a podcast. So I tried to bring together the best of this episode so you can connect the dots. That being said, what do you guys think? How did Tim handle himself on Shawn Baker's podcast? I think he did pretty well given all that he's been through, and I'd be curious to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. So what I want you guys to do is hit that subscribe button, whether you're ex-vegan or on the carnivore diet, or whether you're vegan. And make sure you hit that notification bell, because I've got some fire content, including ex-vegan videos. The most hilarious ex-vegan video you will ever see about your boy Tristan, aka Primal Edge Health. Let me line that up as a thumbnail that you can click at the end of this video to watch right now. Alright, y'all know what time it is. Red Pill Vegan. Next.